Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of GNN. Today is October 11th, 2023, and we have another banner night on our hands here. But before we get into the details of our brand new mobile suit, let's go for some news. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the cat is out of the bag. We kind of had an early reveal, technically speaking, but it's finally here. Coming from Moon Gundam, the GazaG is finally here. It's a 2-star suit, which we'll get into details shortly. But we do have some things in relation to that, which include a step-up supply drop notice, which you know what that means, a discount. So the first step is already a half off consecutive pull, which is free 10 pulls. Well, not free, I should say 110 pull at half off, and then the subsequent steps after that for 2-star rarity or higher materials, as well as potential mobile suits at the 3rd and 4th step. So if you're brand new, that might be worthwhile. We love our discounts. On top of that, we do have a notice of a limited supply drop for the reissue of the GP00 Blossom. So if you don't have the suit yet, it's finally back on rotation. Potentially, you can also get the level 2 version, which I believe is the 550 variant, as well as the subsequent beam rifle and beam saber. This is still priority 1, but if you like those gutsy, awesome, interesting supports that aren't just all pew pew and want to kind of get into the things, this is definitely one of those suits you cannot ignore. On top of that, we do have some changes to the recycle ticket counter. Both the level 1 and level 2 modified Rick DJ. Sorry, this is the first suit that gravitates to my eyes because it is a fun raid, especially with its recent buff at 600, excuse me, and 650. It is something to watch out for. Something that has a little bit of a, close end punch, double melees, different tool sets. It's pretty fun and speedy. You also have the Zaku for level 1, which is a 3-star support, also being added, as well as the level 4 Gyan. So I can see more of those on the field. Oh, yay. Anyways, on top of that, the White Rider, not the right, but the White Rider level 2 is now in the DP exchange counter. So interesting suit. It is not an easy suit to utilize, considering that it does center on the Zeus ability boost, and it does have a nice combo controller as well as balancers. But again, because of the limited options that it has, it does kind of have to go out of its way to really do work, as well as staying out of trouble. So, on to our main event. Alright, folks, so our mechanical giant, that is an oversized horse based on this little quote here. We have the GazaG, which, surprisingly enough, the F, and I think there is one more beyond that. I've googled it, and we have the GazaX or something so far. Those are all relegated to manga entries, which I don't know if they'll make it, because this does kind of conflict with some of the other suits that share the model number, and we'll leave it at that. But it is a 2-star general, which is crazy, usable in ground and space. Developed as a successor to the Gaza line, the main unit of the Axis Neo Zeon remnants. Identical to the GazaD, it relies on the Knuckle Buster supplemented by missiles for mid to long range support. Also allows for excellent production and maintenance through the appropriation of production lines, and went into active service for the Luce Krangel's Armada during the Neo Zeon invasion of Moon, which is the main bad guy or main antagonist who runs around with the Dag doll. This particular suit looks pretty interesting. It kind of looks like a big giant crab in space because of the circular surface here, but if you also want, we do have a rerun of the Neo Zeon 3rd normal suit, So if you are doing 10 pulls for this suit without, well, being unlucky with your discount, you can potentially get the helmet and the normal suit, so it's pretty cool. So on to the nitty-gritty details of our suit in detail. Alright folks, just to kind of disclaim a little bit, we did get a jump on looking at this. This is, again, like I mentioned earlier, a 500 cost GazaG General. Now, of course, this does have some extra tuning involved with it. 20k HP, we'll say mid to high 10s in both beam and ballistic, and a 20 in melee resistance. Does have a little more leanings in melee, which is a little odd considering what we'll see in a bit, maybe. But it does have some range power, but more leanings on melee, as I mentioned. Top speed of 205, walking speed, or we'll say hover, 135, thruster gauge of 75, and turning speed of 66, which is pretty much par for most generals, I should say. But getting into the primary weapons here, we are looking at the specific knuckle buster for the GazaG at 1900, 5 shots, 400 meters, effective range, 4-second cooldown time between shots, and a reload time of 13 seconds. It is not able to equip anything different. It does have akimbo beam sabers that are unique to it as well. 2.5 second cooldown time between swings, and a 2400 base power. In mobile suit form, jumping into the sub weapons, it does have a incendiary missile launcher. I guess they're located in the subsequent, guess you could call them shield binders, but shoulder binders on both ends. They do fire fairly quick because there's no cooldown time, but effectively 300 meters, 150 base power with 18 shots, and they do damage over time. And if you look at some of the B-roll, which we'll have in between everything here, basically it is able to build stun as well. Jumping into the last subsequent portion of the sub-weapons, we do have a knuckle sealant, which has a pretty long reach of 200 meters. It does probably arc just like everything else in the Zeta to double Zeta lineup. Base power of 150, so yeah, you can take out suits with this. But the reload time is probably the quickest for something like this. This has 8 seconds, so possibly this might be a long shot, but maybe some of the suits that have that as a secondary stun, because it is kind of a learning curve to launch it at an angle, maybe they'll have the reloads kind of looked over once more, but again, long shot. Jumping into the lovely mobile armor or transform mode of the GazaG, it does maintain the knuckle buster. Unfortunately, it does not translate into a new reload, so whatever shots that you use, they do translate over when you do transform. Linked head mounted Vulcan guns are only usable in transform mode. It doesn't even have Vulcans in mobile suit form. 60 power base with 60 shots. I do believe it's around 32 or so for build stun. 350 meters effective range, so you do have a lot of reach with this at a 12-second reload time. Also has missile launchers, which compared to the initial incendiary mode for mobile suit fighting, this has a chain explosion, and you do get 18 shots, I think, for both sides. So the crazy part is that you're able to essentially area deny people while in mobile armor form. So that's pretty neat. Jumping into the shopping list of skills here, you got some of the usual main fare. Has a roll, leg up, shock absorber 3, flight control 3. So this actually, in mobile armor form, it does have the benefit of thruster consumption. I believe also in, sorry, so I take that back, that is in mobile suit form. So you do have thruster consumption by half while you're in air. So it's pretty cool. This is definitely, I would say, lending to the suit. Fall prevention level 1, glide level 4. So this is going to be pretty substantial while you're transforming a lot, which I think this is going to be one of those suits that does kind of benefit from that. Obviously, balancers, I couldn't imagine this without it. AMBOC 2, and surprisingly, no space compatibility, so this is what you're getting with that. Melee combo 1, force injector 2, and level 2 buffers for both its shoulders and back add-on. Regular high performance radar and transform, and just kind of reiterate on some of the stats too. Transform mode, it does get to 180 for regular cruising, and then high speed of 230, which is, if you're really, well, you can't really do it with this one, but it's 20 shy of the cap. So, pretty cool. As of course, transforming mode, it does turn a lot less. But in mobile armor form, we do have anti-blast stabilizer, so you'll probably want to ram people with this. It does come with shock dampeners as well as the transformation optimizer, which definitely helps with the thruster gauge. And pretty much everything that we kind of listed beforehand. Alright folks, that concludes tonight's banner reveal of the GazaG. Hopefully this might be something that you'll pull. Otherwise, let me know in the comments below if this is a really cool suit, despite being a 2-star. It may not necessarily be your cup of tea, but there's no denying that you'll definitely be seeing it a lot more often at 500. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and definitely do not hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out, helps the algorithm, and even commenting about this goofy looking suit, as some people might think. But based on what we went over just now, it definitely seems to be a force to be reckoned with. So, with that said, that's it for now. I will see you guys all on the next video. Take care.